Good morning, class 7. Let's continue with the second chapter of EVS, sources of water. We have to begin from lakes. Lake is a huge depression in land that remains filled with water. The water of lake may be fresh or saline. Lake receives water directly from rain or from streams and rivers. Lakes that do not have any input of water and are situated in dry areas of fast evaporation become saline and may dry completely. So we have two types of lake, one which has fresh water or normal water and the other one which has saline water. The lake forms when there is a depression in the land. It becomes saline when there is like no input of the water or output. When the water is not coming from any river or something, maybe like because of the rain it has accumulated there, and that area is facing lot of evaporation because of too much of sunlight. So that where those lakes become saline. This way lakes form and disappear. Dead Sea is a large lake that has input of fresh water in the form of streams and river, yet yet is the most saline lake in the world. It is so saline that life is not possible in it. No organism can grow in it. This is why it is called Dead Sea. Fish brought in by the incoming streams and rivers die as soon as they enter it. Its water is 7 times saline than the sea. Such high salinity in spite of incoming fresh water is because of very high rate of evaporation. So here we can see that it is not meeting out the condition which we were talking about for a lake to become saline. It has incoming fresh water from the streams, but because of very high rate of evaporation, this lake has become very saline. It is like you can see the comparison, it is 7 times saline than sea water, and that is the reason that no plants or animals can survive in it, and therefore it has been given the name the Dead Sea. The evaporation is so fast that its level is 408 meters below sea level in spite of continuous inflow of streams and rivers. So you can see the level is 408 meters below sea level. Many lakes have outlets of water. The outlet of water is in the form of river. Nile, the longest river in the world, originates from the Lake Victoria of Africa. Lakes that have inflow as well as the outflow of water are freshwater lakes and are useful to men. So the lake which has outlets, they are form of river and they are very helpful for mankind. Lakes are distributed throughout the world. Around half of the lakes are in Canada only. Northern Europe also has a number of lakes. Ponds are also depressions filled with water like lakes. The major difference between them is that pond is smaller and less deep than the lake. Normally, ponds are fed directly by the rain. A stream or river neither flows in it nor flows out. It is used mainly for agricultural purpose. So we can say that pond is also like depression in the land where water is filled up like lakes, but the size can be like pond is comparatively smaller in size and it has less deep, right? Then comes wells. Well is a man-made hole in the surface of the earth. It is bored up to the underground water level. The water is pulled out with the help of local technology. The depth of water level is different in different areas. It is an important source of water in the deserts and underdeveloped rural areas. It is a common feature in rural India. In the northern part of India, especially in Punjab, tube wells have replaced the traditional wells. Modern tube wells are run with electricity or diesel. They are the major source of irrigation. Their excessive use has lowered the water level of Punjab. So wells, they are holes which are made by like human made, and in this what they do, they use the underground water. And since excessive wells have been dug up in Punjab that has disturbed the underground water level. Underground water level, maximum percolation should take place. Check dams are constructed on streams and rivers so that maximum water percolates down instead of running into big rivers and ultimately into the sea. Percolation raises the water level. Water that percolates down filters through many layers of soil. Hence, it is fresh and clean source of water. This water is used maximum for the domestic purposes. So, the wells are being used in form of tube, they people have made tube wells there, and it is used for irrigation purpose, right? Now, the rainwater which percolates underground, that increases the water level, and that is the only way the water level can be increased. River. River is a stream of flowing water. The water continuously flows from highlands to the lowlands. Most of the rivers fall into the sea. A few rivers fall into big lakes. Some rivers neither reach any sea nor any lake. They dry up on the way and finish. Such rivers are called inland rivers. Point from where a river originates is called the head of the river. From where the river begins, that is known as the head of the river, and the point where it falls into the sea is called the mouth of the river. So, where it falls into the sea is the mouth, and from where it originates is the head. Small streams that join the big river are called tributaries, which bring the rainwater or rain off water from the surrounding areas. Area that slopes down or drains to the main river is called the river basin. So, small streams, they join the river and they are known as the tributaries. They bring water, or sometimes the rainwater is also accumulated or run off water from the surrounding areas. The rainwater which is not percolating downwards, they that is known as the run of water. That also becomes a part of these tributaries. Rivers are either rain fed or snow fed. The rain fed rivers may dry during the dry season. Such rivers are called non perennial, in which the flow of water is not continuous. Rivers that have continuous flow throughout the year are called perennial. That do not have continuous flow throughout the year are called non perennial, and that have such rivers are called non perennials, in which the flow of water is not continuous. That is, after throughout the year, when the water is not available, they are non perennial, and if they are available throughout the year, the continuous flow throughout the year, they are called perennial. Such rivers are normally snow fed, or in those areas that receive rainfall throughout the year. Because river gets water from the snow or rain, therefore fresh water flows in the river. River Amazon releases maximum amount of fresh water in the sea near its mouth. As a result, the salinity of ocean water lowers. Nowadays, big dams are being built across the river to store water, the volume of water. This stored water is used for many purposes like irrigation, hydel power generation, fishing, etc. Such dams are called multi-purpose projects. Some big rivers like Amazon and Mississippi are also used as for transportation. So, these river water are being used for hydel purpose. They are used for transportation. Then comes ocean. An ocean is a huge body of water. All ocean covers 71% surface of earth and contains 96.5% of water on the earth. Hence, they are the bigger storehouse of water on the earth. But the water of ocean is saline and of its no use to man. However, the major uses of ocean are fishing and transportation. Fish is the staple food for many people in the world. This activity is the occupation of many people in the world. Oceans provide the cheapest means of transport. Therefore, most of the international trade in the world is done through ships. Regular tides in the ocean provide great potential in generating power. So, the oceans are being used for transportation. The Now tides, they generate lot of power. The floor of the ocean has number of resources, that is petroleum is drilled for at many places. The major benefit of ocean is their effect on the climate. So you can see that transportation, then the tides, they provide potential for generating electricity. Then we have resources like petroleum, and it has effect or impact on the climate. So they have a moderating effect on the climate. There are 4 big oceans on the earth. They are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Arctic Ocean. Pacific is the largest of all the oceans. There are many marginal seas on the edges of all the oceans. Okay class, so we have finished the chapter here. Please remember the points which are given in the form of summary. Do the exercises in your notebook and read the chapter. Take care of yourselves. Be safe at home. Thank you class.